Did we just become best friends? Stop it.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will here with Garage Gym Guru Reviews, and I'm in the Living 10 Strength Garage today with a piece of equipment I'm very excited to share with you because I think I found my new favorite piece of equipment, and not just because it's brand new to the gym, maybe that's why also, but this thing is awesome. So before we get into all the specs and all that kind of stuff and going up and down, what I want to show you first is the unboxing and me actually using the equipment. So stay tuned for that, and then we'll get into everything else. So as you guys can see, this came in one large crate by FedEx Freight. Multiple pieces inside of there, 2 boxes that came with the screws, the bolts, washers, stuff like that, and of course then the back padding. My son helped me bring all this in. Everything was super simple. There was only one piece that we both had to bring in together, and that was the handles, because it is one large piece. Everything was wrapped up nice and tight in plastic, bubble wrap. Took it apart, no problems, really just minor scuffs here and there, but nothing that is horrible. Here, as you guys can see, everything laid out, bolts, screws, padding, and everything else.
That's real good. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me.
All right, guys, so you've seen that with the exercises, the unboxing, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to go through that with you first. I do have a notepad here because I want to go through everything. A lot of times I just go off the top of my head, and I'm sure that it shows because I say and I'm thinking for a second, but what I want to do is start getting used to is actually having some notes here so I can give you everything that was on my mind while using the machine. So the first thing I want to go into is the cons, and I want to get that out of the way because really the cons are not that big of a deal. Well, yes and no. So first and foremost, the biggest con was putting it together. And that's the reason why I don't have video of me actually putting it together, because I don't want to have video of me being extremely frustrated. And the only reason I was extremely frustrated at first was because there is a screw, I'm going to show you right here, okay, takes an Allen key. This screw might work very well in Germany because this is German engineered, but here I had no Allen key that would fit this. So what I do, I asked my wife, I said, let's go, come with me to Home Depot, let's go to Lowe's, let's go check it out. I could not find an Allen key that would work with this screw. Now, that said, I could have ordered it online, I could wait a week, but that's not me because I'm not a patient person. So, Home Depot and Lowe's had no idea, they could not figure out what size it was. They thought it was a 13 millimeter, which would in half, but they couldn't figure it out. So what I had to do was, unfortunately, I had to use kind of like a wrench almost to lock down on it and screw these in without an Allen key. Now, did it mess up the paint on those screws? It did. Is it really that big of a deal? No, because it's only 4 screws and they're all the way at the bottom, and I can repaint them if I really want to, because all the screws and the bolts and everything come in black, which is good and bad. It looks nice, but when you're screwing them in, sometimes they do get messed up because of the black paint on there. So that was the first con, was the fact that I had to go try to find an Allen key and I could not find one. So I had to figure out something else. I did try to put a towel around it or something. It just was not working. So I just said, screw it, let me just do this. I figured it out, no big deal. Was frustrating, but whatever, I moved on and went to building the rest of it. Not a hard thing to build. The only problem with building it is where I'm used to, a lot of companies will put on the packaging of where the screws are, they'll actually put the number of the screw, how many there are, M12, I whatever. So that way when you're looking at the pictures, you know exactly which screw to use. This with ATX did not have that. It came in 2 huge things of screws, which you guys have already seen. I'll show you again here. And it didn't have any numbers. So you're kind of guessing on the way the screw and the bolts look and the washers look compared to the pictures to be able to figure out what goes where. It's kind of obvious then once you start working with it, because if it doesn't fit right, then obviously it's not the right one. There are some really big bolts and screws and some smaller ones. So putting it together, the instructions were just okay. I think that what they need to do, and I'm hoping ATX is listening to this, and guys, please, if you do buy this thing because of my video, please let ATX know, because they're gonna start doing affiliates and I'd like to work with them. They are a great company as far as their equipment. I don't know them personally, obviously, have not met them, just seen them on YouTube and stuff like that, but their equipment is pretty nice from what I've seen so far. So please let them know that you saw it here. So what they need to do is, I think they need to give us the tools. And I say that only because other companies that sell even less pricey equipment gives you the tools. Mikolo did. GMWD gave some of the tools. Ritfit gave some of the tools. So I think that's really helpful, especially when now you're selling to the US, where the tools might be a little different. I don't know, I'm not a tool guy, but like even the bolts, I didn't have any wrenches that were big enough. So I had to make sure I had the ones that expand. I know it sounds stupid with tools, guys, but I'm not a tool guy, whatever. I'm a gym guy. So that's what I had to go ahead and get to make sure I had 2 of those so I could do it. Once it was done, no big deal. The operation, the building of this thing is really kind of easy once you just figure out the directions. It's not a killing point. Still buy this piece of equipment if you want it. Don't look at that as, oh, I'm not going to buy it because it might be difficult to put together. Once you figure it out, it's really not that bad. The other con, which is really not a con, it's personal preference, would be, is the handles here. Although they are nice because the handles swivel, right? You're going to see here, you've already seen, they do swivel back and forth. There are notches here that actually tell you where they can actually go. It's a knurling. Me personally, I like a really aggressive knurling, and I wish it was a little more aggressive. Now, with that said, I understand why it's not. It's more of a medium knurling, and that's because this machine is for multiple users. People who want aggressive knurling, people who don't, people that don't care, people that wear gloves. I don't know why you would wear gloves, but people that wear gloves, whatever. Having knurling on there and how the knurling is really a personal preference, and I would say this is more medium. It's different than buying a barbell. You can buy a barbell like the Agro Bar ×3 from Rogue that's extremely aggressive. Some people think it's too aggressive. I loved it, right? But you have a choice then. You could buy a bar with less aggressive knurling, right? More modern, more less, moderate or less. So it's just a personal preference. I wish they were a little more aggressive. So those are the only 2 cons that I have with this thing. Just putting it together, the screw and everything, and then the handles, no big deal. Otherwise, the construction of the handles are fantastic. They are strong and just really, really good. So let's go into some of the things that I really like with this. And I'm gonna compare it to the GMWD that I have. And the reason why I'm gonna do that is because some people might say, why do you need this if you're gonna have the GMWD bench, all-in-one kind of bench also? Well, I'm gonna tell you real quick why I got this also was, 1, I saw it and I fell in love with it. I thought it was awesome. 2, I hate doing my flat bench laying down. I really do. I just hate the way my back feels. I do have a wider back, a thicker back, and when I lay down sometimes my head just doesn't want to hit the back there at the pad, and it just feels uncomfortable. So I thought this might feel better, and I can already tell you right now, it feels 100% better. It's not that I won't ever do flat bench on the GMWD, but this just gives me something else, a different way to do it, right? So where I was doing flat bench on the GMWD and also doing my triceps there for a close grip, I can do those 2 exercises, which you've seen on this, and I don't have to lay down. So that right there is why I traded up. Now, let me tell you, this feels so smooth when you're using it. I feel less stress on my shoulders doing a stand-up press than I do when I do the lay-down press. And I think that is, when you're using machines like this, there's only so much motion and range of motion and starting point they can figure out. So on the GMWD, like I said in that video, if you haven't seen that one, check it out. The full review is on my channel. When you start with that, the range of motion or the starting point is down by your chest pretty much, okay? That limits, in my opinion, me of how much weight I can lift because it's starting me at a lower position. With this machine, I can start at a more out position where it's not so much stress on my shoulders, and I can actually lift more weight with this than I can with the GMWD, I've already noticed, okay? So that's a good thing about this, that I can lift more weight and that it puts me at a starting point to where my hands are not so close to the bottom where my chest is as it is on the GMWD, okay? So that's really a good thing that I really like. Now, what I will say also that I like about this is the range of motion is better because of the fact that where it starts and where it stops, you really can crank this all the way back when you're doing your press and really yank it all the way out. There's no limitation on how far out you can go and how far back you can go really with this machine, whereas with the GMWD, there is a limitation because of where they stop, all right? What I will say though with that is, as far as going to failure, I feel like on the GMWD versus the ATX standing, is going to failure is easier, I don't want to say easier, I guess it's easier on the GMWD only because of where the starting position is. That's the good thing about that, because if you go down and you're trying to get that last rep and you can't get it, you're already there, and if you drop it or if you come down a little harder, it's got stoppers there that it's going to stop. With this, when you're coming back, if you can't lift it up anymore, you've got to be careful because there is a lever on the bottom that's going to help you then stop it. So you've got to be able to have it out far enough for that lever to actually catch on. So I'm just saying, although this is great range of motion and you still can go to failure, on the GMWD, it feels like you can go to failure a little better, all right? The smoothness of this thing, fantastic. It is buttery smooth. I love it. I love the way it's built. It's just so sturdy. And what I really like is that these handles, the whole piece here in front comes in one piece. It is one piece welded together, which was the heaviest piece to bring inside the house, believe it or not. That's why if you see in the video, my son and I carried it together. But it is all one piece, and it's really, really smooth with where the bearings are and all that kind of stuff. No problems there. Like I said, I can lift heavier on this than I can the GMWD, which is great because it just gives me a different option. If you have that, do you need this? No, this is more of a want, but I will say lifting on this, pressing on this feels way different than anything else I've used, and I love that I'm standing up. It's just great. All right, so I got into those, wanted to show you that. What I want to do now is I'm going to show you, we're going to look over this thing all in all, and we're going to go top to bottom, and I'm going to show you what I got. All right, so let's look at the handles first, okay? So if you see here, and I'll show you more of a close-up if I can, they've got little notches here, and that shows you exactly where this handle can go. So as is right now, it's straight up. If I bring it down here, it doesn't latch yet until it hits right there. The next one is going to be right underneath it, and then the same thing all the way down. So if you wanted to do something here like a reverse grip, it's not going to work. You're only going to get this angle right here. Now that doesn't mean you possibly, I don't know if these come all the way out. I didn't try because I don't really care, but you might be able to swap them, be able to do that. Then the other way, you've got what, 4 more notches all the way down to get this angle here, which is great because I was using this, and then it's up a little higher for my triceps. All right. So both obviously do the same thing. And then on the side here, it has a knob, another pop pin that will allow this to go all the way up to number 7. Pop in, really nice and sturdy. Back to number 4, all the way down if you want. And the latch is on. Really nice, heavy duty. I love the way that this works. Fantastic. All right, so coming down to the bottom here, I want to make sure I can show you guys. Look, you know guys, with me, with my gym, I'm all about aesthetics. The better your gym looks, the more you love looking at the gym, the more you're gonna wanna be in your gym and actually use it, okay? Yeah, I get guys that say that's bullshit. Just build muscle in a gym. It's your damn gym. Make it the way you want it to look. I love that these are white because the aesthetics fits my gym. Not to say, hey, if you want red, spray paint these bastards. They're white. You spray paint them whatever you want. But they came in white. I love this little extra. Both sides, awesome. It really, really is great. Like I said, this one piece, these handles, is one piece that goes underneath this pad and comes all the way back up, which is great because it's all welded. It's not gonna break on you. Coming down, this is your foot plate. It's got that diamond pattern, just like my mats do. Non-slip, nothing like that. I haven't had any issue. There is a little bit of damage here, looks like, but that's not, that big of a deal. If I feel like I need to, I'll probably put some of these, the grip tape on here like I have on my other stuff. So far, I don't really think I need it. Here's just another little thing that they put. There's ATX all over this place, all over this piece of equipment. So they've got another one in white here. There's more over here in white. And if you look really close, let me show you guys. Excuse the camera angle and everything. It's right there on these little rubber pieces as well, which is cool. All right, so next up, let's talk about the pad on this. This thing is nice. Love the ATX in there. I think it's awesome, right? I'm not a guy that likes to customize my equipment based on me and as far as like putting my logo on it, because if I ever want to sell it, I'd rather have the logo that came with it. I don't want to spend the money on customizing with my logo and stuff like that. Plus, I like showing off what equipment I have and who it's from. I'm a little bougie with my equipment, so I like having good stuff. Anyway, back to the pad. It's nice and rounded. Why is that good? For your shoulders. Like I said, it's not going to stop you when you're going back and using this. You can get full range of motion on this better than on the regular straight bar bench pressing with a regular bench. Okay, it's almost like having a cambered bar all the time, and it's a thick padding. It's nice and firm. Doesn't feel like it's going to be tearing up or anything like that. The quality is great. Okay. So coming to the back side of this piece of equipment, right here, this is an extra piece that bolts onto your pad. And this comes down for leverage, obviously, so that way this doesn't move back and forth. Just extra support, so no matter how much weight you put on, how much pressure, this is gonna help keep it up and it's not gonna break on you. It comes back here, there's a whole lever here. So this is rubber. This piece here, and you guys saw in the video when I was using it, I showed you, this piece right here actually comes down, and this is where your plates hold on to. And the plates are on these chrome weight horns right here. ATX, if you're watching this video, if you ever want to send me some of your plates, because I tried looking to see where I can find them. I can't find them, but if you want to send me some to review and put on your equipment, because I do have the bicep blaster coming in once it's available, but I've already bought it. I'd love to have some of your plates, but right now I have to use reps. But they sit on here. This is where it loads. Once you start using a piece of equipment and you push those levers, they push those handles out, this piece comes up, this drops, and it's no longer in the way. Once you're ready, you kick this up and it will catch the plates for you once again. Nice and simple design, very sturdy, great piece. All right, guys, so overall, first impressions. I showed you everything that there really is to do this. The foot plate of this thing is, the dimensions of this is not very big at all, as you guys see where it's at. I'll show you guys a span of the gym real quick without the ATX bicep blaster, which will be coming in hopefully next month. But it's not a very big piece. It's tall, but it doesn't take up much room. And I really, really think this is a plus for your gym if you're looking for something like this. Commercial grade. I've seen other people have this. Any other videos I've seen, it's always in some kind of commercial gym, overseas obviously. But I think you're gonna see this thing in a lot more gyms coming up. Now that ATX is shipping here, I think you're gonna see a lot more ATX equipment inside of gyms, home gyms. The quality so far from what I can tell is fantastic. Like I said, putting it together, directions, stuff like that, giving us the tools could be a little better. But overall, I think that this is a great piece of equipment. I 100% suggest getting it if this is what you're looking for. I'm really looking forward to ATX, in my opinion, for equipment. I would put them with Rogue Fitness. I would say that they are the Rogue Fitness of Germany. Now, I haven't used other, German engineered products as far as I'm aware of, but I really think that their quality from what I can see is really top notch. But that's also a personal preference, okay? You might love Rogue Fitness. I used to love Rogue Fitness also, but these other companies, guys, are really coming up and really making a stand against companies like Rogue, who's had the market to themselves for a long time. These other companies are doing a fantastic job, and ATX is definitely one of them. So, like I said, please, if you get this piece of equipment, you'll see there's a comment section where you can actually tell ATX something. Let them know that you saw it here on Garage Gym Guru Reviews. I'd love to work with them one day, and I'd like them to know that you're seeing it here. Otherwise, guys, as always, let me know if you have any comments. Give this a like, subscribe to the channel, stay strong, and live like a 10.